Now let's get into talking about Vancouver. What's been going on lately? So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is just a resource that you can use if you are a stats nut and you love looking at data. This is where you go. rebgv.org, Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver, and just click Market Watch. So I'm going to be showing you guys analysis of the data that's readily available on this source here. So I'm not just going to necessarily show you, like, if you want to look at data, look at data. Let's talk about what's actually going on and what you can do about it. So let me get my presentation. Oh, that went to the wrong screen. Hold on. I will share screen number 2. Perfect. Okay. So here is what I am talking about. Now, I know every single person has had the experience I'm about to describe. You're on the highway and you're cruising, you're making tracks, you're going fast. It's 120, 130. If you're driving with me or Eric, it's 150. And all of a sudden you get to the city and you slow it back down and you're going 60, 65, 70. It's a pretty respectable speed. Sure beats walking, but you're like, gosh, I am hardly moving. What is going on here? Because relative to highway speed, city speed feels like a dead standstill. It almost feels like you're going backwards. And that is the perfect analogy for what it feels like in the Vancouver market right now. So what we're seeing in the Vancouver market, I mean, if you're depending on the media outlet of choice, you're going to see, it's the media, doom and gloom stories. People are saying the market is crashing, everything is going down. Well, the market's not going down, it's just slowing down. Now, in order for the market, so there's forward progress at highway speed, there's forward progress at city speed, there's being at a complete stop, and then there's moving backwards. So right now, we are in a much more balanced market because we are moving forwards at a reasonable speed. If we were at a standstill or moving backwards, then we'd be more at a buyer's market. But the nice thing about what's going on in Vancouver right now is we're hitting a balanced market. Now, I'm just going to show you guys some of this data. And again, I'm not going to spend too much time on these sheets. And depending on which computer monitor you're on, you might not actually be able to see it because it's too tiny anyways. So go to the RBGC site. But what I'm pointing out is what we're seeing is the absorption rate, which is how many houses are selling versus how many are listed. The absorption rate is going down. So, you look at March, apartment absorption rates are all in like the 70 to 80% range. Attached houses, depending on the market, are in the 50 to 60, 70% range. And then detached is in like the 50 to 60 range. In April, it's already stalling out a little bit. So detached is now in like the 50% range. Everything's gone down by about 10% in terms of absorption. As well, overall listing inventory is slowing down a little bit too. So that's a pretty major decline in available inventory. What that's telling us is that there's less people taking action right now, and there's less people buying houses. And that's why we're seeing that bit of a stall. So if we look at total number of sales, again, the trends in this data show us the same thing. It shows us that the number of properties changing hands is slowing down and the month over month increase is decreasing. So there were month over month increases of 2%, 3%, 5%. Month over month, people from Edmonton are saying, 5% in a year is pretty good. No, in 1 month over month, that's the kind of increasing we were seeing in Vancouver. Now we're seeing month over month increases of like 0 to 1%. Again, that is forward progress. It just isn't breakneck speed. So I'm going to give you guys one more analogy. And this is, I Googled earthquake and this delightful image came up, but it really does describe what it feels like right now. So what I mean by earthquake, I'm sure that all of our realtor colleagues and a lot of you are hearing people say, I want to wait and see. 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 And that always begs the question, well, what are you waiting to see? So anytime there's a really dramatic change in the market environment, people wait and see. It's like an earthquake. It's a shakeup. People hide under a table. They hide under a door frame. They freeze. They want to wait and see. They want to wait till the earthquake is over. So earthquake type events, market slowing down, interest rates raising, new stress test, new mortgage rules, inflation numbers are released. There's an election coming. Whenever there's a shakeup, AKA an earthquake, everybody just kind of goes into hiding for a second until the earthquake stops. And then you get out from under your table, you go out into the real world, you realize, okay, things are going to move on. This is our new reality. We can start getting back to day-to-day life. So the earthquake analogy is what I'd like to use right now for Vancouver. And what the opportunity looks like is we're in a bit of a shakeup. Interest rates have caused some people to pause. There's anybody who is going to buy and panic buy because of interest rates going up has. And now we're seeing this like window opening where we're noticing, and all the realtors on the Vancouver team can testify to this. We're not seeing crazy bidding wars. We're seeing the ability to offer below list price. We're seeing the ability to go out shopping, think about a place, and then put an offer in the next day instead of panic buying. So yeah, it's a shakeup, but it's a shakeup that's balancing the market. And as investors, we want to buy in a balanced market. We are buyers. So the market that we want to see is a buyer's market. It is a balanced market. We've just gone through 18 months of seller's market. So not really great as an investor. We're actually heading into a market reality that's perfect for who we are and what we do. And we're actually seeing a ton of properties start to cash flow in Vancouver again, just because of how the numbers are shaking out. So, it's a good news story. Right now, everybody's kind of, tense, paused, seeking cover because of the shakeup. And once the new reality sets in, we'll be in a balanced market, and that's going to be good news for investors moving forward. So keep an eye out for trends to continue in that direction, and talk to your preferred Vancouver realtors on the Mogul team about cash flow.